Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Terry Ryan, and I started this channel to talk about my book, which is I Survived Domestic Violence and Stalking. I wrote this book in a way to overcome the struggles of the years I went through with domestic violence. So that was one way I did to heal. I had to express it all, to get it all out, to be able to completely heal from all the trials that went with going through domestic violence that I had been holding in all that time. And I found that writing it down actually helped me with my journey of healing. I tried many things in the past to heal, and they didn't work. It was in my subconscious, buried deep down, and I tried to overcome the problem by hiding it or pretending it didn't happen, saying I'll just get on with my life. But what I really needed to do was I needed to bring all the pain up to the surface and express what I was going through, and to be able to really forgive myself and forgive also my abuser too. I had to forgive him as well, and by writing the book and doing that, I managed to overcome the problems of domestic violence. I didn't intend on writing the book at the time, but after I wrote it, I realised how many other people are going through this and how many more will go through this. And I wanted a bit of a positive note, so at the end of the book I wrote all the little lessons I'd learnt along the way, and one by one I've been talking about them on this channel. And today what I wanted to talk about was the actual struggle. The main reason I wanted to talk about struggle was because as we look around today with this virus going on, there is so many people at the moment struggling to get through, struggling with being isolated, struggling with not being able to see their families. They've got the struggle of financial problems, and many have lost their jobs, and also depression. There's much more mental health problems are going on right now due to being isolated and due to being cut off. There's much more domestic violence going on, there's more crime going on, and it's everywhere at the moment with the struggle. And what I wanted to talk about was struggle, and also we realised the old saying that life wasn't meant to be easy. And that's totally true. It's totally true. Life wasn't meant to be easy, because life is like lessons. It's like going to school. Your life is like going to a class and walking through the years and learning lessons along the way. And the only way that most people can learn is when they go through something. They may suffer. There's very few people out there that can learn something by seeing it from somebody else, like watching somebody else. You'll find a lesson learnt well will be a lesson that has suffered, a lesson that you have suffered from. And so that's why I wanted to talk about this today, and the benefits of your struggle and the things that we struggle with, how it improves us. I want to give you a few examples on that too. There's this lovely little story, and some may know the story, but I came across it and I thought it's a perfect example of why we do need to struggle at times to learn. And it actually, by struggling and everything, it does refine you, and it defines you too as a person. It defines you so that you can also help others who may be going through the same type of thing. Anyway, this little story I came across, it's called The Butterfly, and I'll read it to you because it's very profound, and it does correlate with what I'm talking about. A man found a cocoon for a butterfly one day. A small opening appeared. He sat and watched the butterfly for several hours as it struggled to force its body through the little hole. Then it seemed to stop making any progress. It appeared as if it had gotten as far as it could and could go no further. The man decided to help the butterfly. He took a pair of scissors and snipped the remaining bit of the cocoon. The butterfly then emerged easily. Something was strange. The butterfly had a swollen body and shriveled wings. The man continued to watch the butterfly because he expected at any moment the wings would enlarge and expand to be able to support the body, which would contract in time, but neither happened. In fact, the butterfly spent the rest of its life crawling around with a swollen body and deformed wings. It was never able to fly. What the man, in his kindness and haste, did not understand was that the restricting cocoon and the struggle required for the butterfly to get through the small opening of the cocoon are nature's way of forcing fluid from the body of the butterfly into its wings so that it would be ready for flight once it achieved its freedom from the cocoon. Sometimes struggles are exactly what we need in our life. If we go through all our lives without any obstacles, that would cripple us. We would not be as strong as what we could have been. Not only that, we could never fly, which is a great example here of the butterfly, how in actual fact sometimes we can try to help others, and in actual fact we're hindering them because we're not allowing them to learn the things that they need to learn. And it could be about anything. It might be about money, or there was a good example of that with my abusive husband. He quite often used to get in trouble with the police and get fines, and he'd go straight to his mother and she would pay the fines, and he wouldn't have to worry. But he never ever learnt the lesson because he wasn't hid in the hip pocket. He knew whenever he wanted money, all he needed to do was go to his mother and she would give it to him, and therefore he never learnt the lesson. And it's so true too, as we can see with this butterfly. It was essential that it had to struggle to get out of the cocoon, and there was two reasons for it. One was to rid its body of that fluid, to force that fluid into its wings so it could fly. And it's the same with us. Sometimes we need to struggle with many things. It may be all sorts of things. It could be money, it could be relationships, it could be losing somebody. There's many reasons why we struggle in life, and at this time there's reasons too. And sometimes we don't understand. We don't understand the reason why things happen as they do, but later on in life you'll look back and you'll see why these things happen. And generally when we do struggle, it's because it's something that we need to learn, that we're being taught something. And you'll find in life too, the same things will reoccur and come back again and again and again until you do learn exactly what it is that you needed to learn. And this will go on and on and on until you do. And some of us take longer than others to learn things. I certainly did. I took a lot longer to learn things than a lot of other people around me. And that was one example. There's a few other examples I could give you. One is the Australian Banksia. The actual Banksia tree, it's a native bush to Australia, and this particular bush, the only way it can open its pod is by fire. So bushfire is necessary for this particular seed pod to pop open. And that's another thing too, you know, we would consider a bushfire a bad thing. And in recent times in Australia, we have groups have come in and they have protested about burning back the Australian bush, and it has been found to be a hindrance because it's caused so much fuel that when the conditions have been right, a wildfire has gone through. It's been a fire unstoppable, and we had this earlier this year, and we also had it a few years ago. And now they are recognising that bushfires are needed, burning is needed, it is useful, and as it goes, it's something that is helpful rather than a hindrance. Another example is take gold, for instance. Gold, if you find a gold nugget, it can have a lot of impurities in it, and there are ways to clean the gold, and they're very harsh ways that they use, and it refines that gold and brings it down to a beautiful shiny piece of metal that they can make jewellery out of. But the ways that they do to refine it is by, one, burning it at a very hot temperature to take away those impurities. Another way they use is by chemicals and acid, and acid melts away and it creates a compound of gases, and this melts away all the impurities. So in the end, by all this harshness that's put upon this piece of metal, you'll end up with a refined, perfect piece of metal that is quite valuable. And that's just another example. And the reason that we go through these things are usually to teach us. So when you're going through something that you're really struggling with, it's a good time to sit back and, instead of saying poor me and feeling sorry for yourself, sitting back and thinking, or what am I learning about this? Why is this particular thing popping up and it continues to occur? Is there something that I need to know? There's something that I can get out of this that's going to help me? And you'll find 99% of the time that's exactly what's going on, that you are being taught something, there's something that you need to know and that you can learn about during the process. Yes, but anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about today, just because of the amount of people struggling at the moment. There's so many people with mental health out there struggling, and with financial problems and sickness and all sorts of things out there. And I just wanted to get that message across, that just because we do struggle, and every single one of us does, and my struggle might be different to somebody else's, but that particular struggle in that person is exactly what they need, and to refine them, to teach them something, or to become stronger, to become a stronger person. And you may feel that looking at somebody's struggles and you can see exactly what the problem is, but they can't. You may think, you know, I could handle that quite easily, but that's not necessarily so, because everybody is different. Everyone has their own degree of strength and their own degree of learning also. So everyone's an individual, and the actual lesson, once it's been learnt, is an invaluable thing for them in their life. It's going to make them a better character, make them a stronger person, and help them to learn more about themselves as well. Anyway, that was about all I wanted to talk on today. If anybody wants to buy a copy of my book, I have plenty. You can contact me on my Facebook page, which is Terry Ryan Author, Terry with an I, or I have a website which is terry-ryan.com.au. If you go on that website, you can purchase a book on there, or if you're living locally, there's some books down at Swirls in High Street, Heathcote. You can purchase one there, or you can contact me via Messenger or leave a comment under this video, and I'll be only too happy to arrange that for you. So I hope everybody has a lovely weekend. It's Friday here today, Thursday here today. I've got 3 days off, that's why I was thinking it was Friday. So I hope everyone has a nice weekend, and in your isolation at least you can find something great to do to build yourself up. So until next time, I'll see you for now. Bye.